So this certificate have literally costed me 6 months and 700 euros to get. After failing couple B2 exams, I started even wondering if Germany was even meant for me. Couple exams, 100 of euros, and for a moment I thought all of it was going to waste. The B2 exam wasn't just a language exam for me. It was like the starting point where I land my foot to start my journey going from Morocco to Tunisia to Germany. Reaching there was a necessity to have a B2 exam. I needed it to apply for my Bescheid, to tell the German people that I have a medical degree and I have some language knowledge about the German, and to get the visa. So in order for me to get the visa, they tell you that you need to show them that you have a B2 certificate. So in October, after finishing my medical degree, kinda ruined myself and blocked myself by taking an exam after a month. My exam was in the early weeks of December 2025, and I only had 1 month to study for B2 exam, to do all my paperwork, and to clean everything in Morocco in order for me to go back to Tunisia. So I wasn't really comfortable that month. I was traveling to the capital, which is Rabat, from Marrakesh, which takes me 4-hour train trip, which is a lot of time. It was a little bit stressful, and maybe not just a little bit. But even if I was a little bit stressed, I was literally confident. I was just studying and studying and studying and studying, and I felt like I need to get my B2 certificate by January. And that wasn't really what happened. In December 2025, I passed my first exam, and unfortunately, I didn't succeed. And shortly after it, I applied for the next exam in February, and I passed it, and unfortunately, I didn't succeed too. So I was literally close to succeeding. So in order for me to pass the exam, I need to have 135 points. And how much I got? 132 and a half. So it was a little bit annoying. After one failure, it's probably okay. But after two, maybe I am the problem here. And my self-esteem got hit really, really, really badly. And I started thinking that maybe this path, this Germany thing is not for me. I started comparing myself to other people. I had some self-doubt and some embarrassment, and I started seeing other people succeed in this exam and asking myself, what's wrong with me? Why am I not passing this exam? And I started to get bored, stressed, and a little bit anxious about it. So for the next couple months after February, I couldn't find any spot to pass another B2 exam, even though I had the money prepared and I was willing to sacrifice everything in order for me to study for hours and hours and hours and redo the same thing. So I couldn't find any spot that's free for me to pass the exam, at least in my city. So I kept the search for like a spot and I couldn't find it in my city. But I found another spot in the capital, Tunis. But that's not the problem. Neither the money was the problem. The problem was that I was literally in Morocco at that time and I couldn't apply myself. So I had to use some friends' help. I had to bother some of my friends who was literally in a night shift, and he has to finish the night shift at 8 in the morning and go have the money on him and apply for me. And thank God he was able to do that, and he was willing to do that, because you can't find any friends that are really willing to sacrifice time, money, and energy to do all of that for you. So he was obligated to stand under the sun, and he was willing to do all of that for me. I'm really grateful for my friend there. So after applying for the next exam, I had around a month to do everything all over again. At that point, I already passed the B2 exam twice, and I know everything, how things happens, the order of things, how you do this and that. My fault in the first two exams that I'm literally just ignoring some part of the exam, which was listening and writing. So I wasn't like really concentrating on those. So I decided to drop everything, of course study for the other parts like reading, etc. But I focused on the Hören and Schreiben part. I literally like wrote 70 or 80 subject in Schreiben. I built a structure for myself. I memorized that structure. So whatever subject I have the same structure. I literally need to change the mid part. So I memorized the first part, the introduction, and the last part of the Schreiben, which was repetitive. I memorized it. It was perfect. I memorized the grammars, the dative tense, the accusative tense, everything in place. And for the Hören, I literally like listened to a lot of different Hören subjects, because what they do in the exam, they literally like give you one attempt to listen to that part. So you listen and answer the questions. So I timed myself to literally follow the listening part. If I miss one answer, I just drop it and go to the next one. I'll maybe try to remember what he said and answer it later, but I just tried to focus on those two parts. And finally, it paid off. So the hardest part in all of this wasn't actually learning German or studying for German. The hardest part was trying again, even though I failed multiple times. And passing the exam didn't make me any smarter. It just proved that persistence and consistency can beat any motivation. After all, getting this certificate wasn't the end goal. It was just a piece in the life I'm trying to build in Germany.